Have you ever wondered how to use TikTok for your jewelry business? Yeah, me too. Well, I was fascinated about this, and if you are curious about how to kind of dive into a potentially untapped platform for a jewelry designer, I am super excited to bring you this episode today. Hey there, I'm Tracy Matthews. I'm the Chief Visionary Officer over at Flourish and Thrive Academy, and I help overwhelmed and struggling jewelrypreneurs and creative product business owners become in-demand brands with a little something that I call the desired brand effect. And I'm super excited today because I have my friend Elise Darma on the show, and I was scrolling through her Instagram one day and happened to find this video about TikTok and how you can create videos for business that actually start to get you dedicated fans and followers who actually buy your products and services. So I'm super excited because this episode is going to be great. Elise is a social media marketing expert. She teaches people how to use Instagram for growth in their business, and she has some really amazing tools, which we're going to mention in this episode. She is just a master at all things Instagram, all things social media, and I think you're going to really love her perspective on using TikTok for your business. So let's dive right into this episode. I'm so excited because I have Elise Darma on the show today to talk about something I'm totally fascinated with. Elise, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks, Tracy, for having me. I'm excited to dig into this topic.
So did we meet at Laura Belgrave's Copy Cure event in Italy? Is that when we first met? Or was it somewhere else?
I remember. You were that elusive person because in 2018, I went to a bunch of marketing events, and I think I saw you at every single one of them. And I even met you at one of them, like in the bathroom, or maybe it was the Italy retreat when we finally had a conversation. It's all a blur now, but yeah, there was one year where I was just always seeing you.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we met at Stu's event and then some other things. Right. Then we went to Laura's. I feel like that was what it was. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so we finally are connecting, and we're finally connected at Laura's event, and we were talking. I remember you reached out to me asking how the event was, and I'm like, Laura's amazing. You have to go. And I recommend everything that she does. So then, I found out you did more about Instagram, and I recently bought one of your products, and I was stalking your stories one day and saw that you were teaching people how to use TikTok for business. So before we dive into all of that, because I'm really curious because I was exploring TikTok, I saw a bunch of jewelry designers featuring jewelry on there. And I think that there's sort of like an untapped market in a newer platform to kind of help us all get more sales. So why don't we start with like your entrepreneurial journey? Tell us a little bit about how you got started and stuff.
Sure. I'll make it short and sweet.
Sure.
I'm a creative, just like probably a majority of people listening to this right now. And I was always a bit of a rebel. So I grew up in a very conservative religion. And then when I was 18, I was like, nope, I want to do everything that's outside of the box now. So I started traveling, and yes, I got my degree, and yes, I got a job, but then I quickly didn't love that. So I started my business on the side, which was social media marketing services in 2013, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And by 2014, I quit my job and I had a full-time agency. So that's been my journey. I feel like since then, I've really learned online marketing and online business. But when I got started, it was solely to work online so I could travel the world. And now my goal is financial independence. So I'm very excited about that.
So I think one of the reasons why a lot of people become entrepreneurs is financial independence. In fact, the funny thing is I was talking with one of my boyfriend Jason's daughters on maybe 2 nights ago when she was here about starting her own business. And Jason and I were both talking to her about the reasons why it's awesome to be an entrepreneur, and also, some of the risks, but I feel like there's so much upside if you are willing to like take a risk and put yourself out there and try all these things. So you were talking about financial independence, and I think a lot of people who are entrepreneurs, that's like one of their main goals. It's really freedom of time, freedom to travel, freedom to not have to go into an office, freedom financially, because when you're an entrepreneur and you play your cards right, you have basically an untapped or uncapped ceiling of what you can actually earn. And so I love that you said that. And I know that a lot of the designers and creatives who are listening to the show really resonate with that. So let's talk about TikTok.
Okay. Yes. TikTok is another form of freedom, as an attempt at a segue.
So I was stalking you. I saw some things on TikTok, and I saw that you were talking about using it for business, and you've been using it. So I want to know why you think TikTok is a place to actually be, especially for people who are a little bit older. I mean, you're younger than me. I think you're in your early 30s. Mm-hmm. I'm in my late 40s. It's funny because I'm like I follow two people there, Jason's daughter and my niece, Sienna. So they're like super young. They're teenagers. I don't know what I'm doing. So
that's fair. I think I feel the exact same way as you, even though we're in a different age range. I think anyone who's above being a teenager is going to feel that same way. Yeah. So if anyone's listening and they open up the app and they feel this overwhelm and like, I'm too old to be here, I think we all feel that. My experience with TikTok has been very experimental. It started last summer when I was filming YouTube videos for my channel. And my team's like, hey, you should do a video on TikTok. It's new and who knows what it could be. And actually one of my friends messaged me. She said, this TikTok thing, do I need to be on it for my business? And so what I filmed was my experience of opening an account and creating an account and like being a user for the first mm-hmm. time. And that video now has over 100,000 views. People were super into my first experience as a TikTok user. This was last year. I posted maybe 3 times last year. And then at the beginning of this year, I was like, you know what? I am going to post for 30 days straight and just see what happens. Mm-hmm. And I think I made it 2 weeks straight. But in that time of experimenting, I learned that, listen, I'm not a dancer, I'm not a singer, I'm not a performer, but I learned that I could still create videos that didn't require singing or dancing, and I could still bring attention to my business. And so that's probably what you saw when you saw me posting on TikTok. It was 5 videos you can create that don't involve dancing, but still bring attention to your business. So that's been my TikTok journey. Now with quarantine and a lot more people at home, we've seen the usage just spike. And before quarantine, the average daily amount of time that people were spending in TikTok was equivalent to Instagram. Instagram's 53 minutes a day and TikTok was 52.
Wow.
I bet it's probably higher now.
Oh my gosh.
Because we're all at home bored, and it's very, very entertaining. So just in terms of TikTok's growth, it's very similar to Instagram. Last we heard there were 800 million users. There's probably way more than that now. We know that Instagram has 1 billion. But separate from Instagram, what TikTok is great for is that it's a break from this need to be perfect. It's a break from overproduction, because we know Instagram's a photo app and mm-hmm. beautiful photos always did really well, but that has created this overwhelm and just content taking way too long to create for Instagram, where TikTok is the opposite of that. So I think it's kind of a breath of fresh air for people.
I'll probably be on TikTok more than on Instagram, because I'm like, oh gosh, what am I going to write today? Okay. So that's awesome. How many users are on Instagram right now? I never pay attention to this kind of stuff.
The last number that we got was over 1 billion.
1 billion. Okay. So 800, you said 80 million for TikTok,
800
right?
million.
800 million. Okay. And then, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
1 billion.
Those are the last numbers we got. I am assuming that TikTok is higher, just with the usage that's happened recently.
Okay. So let's talk about those 5 videos that you talk about doing for TikTok that don't involve dancing or singing. Mm-hmm. And I'm also curious about other ways that jewelry and creative businesses can use TikTok for their business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So the 5 videos I came up with are just somewhat broad for business owners. And I do have a video on my YouTube channel that shows you demos. So that might be great to look at so you can see what I'm saying, because TikTok is so visual. So I can explain to you what those ideas were, and then you can go ahead and check out the video.
Yeah. We'll link that in the show notes so that people can find it.
Perfect.
Okay. Awesome.
So the easiest video you can make for your business is what I call talking head tips. So think of an Instagram story where you get on camera and you're filming yourself talking to the camera for 15 seconds. Same thing with TikTok. You can share a tip for 15 seconds. The key is with TikTok, just like Instagram, you want to make it specific to your niche and audience. So yes, there might be 1 billion users on TikTok, just like Instagram, but you don't need random followers. You need people who are going to be interested in what you're offering and what your business is offering. So I like to share tips related to my niche and my audience. And as TikTok gets to know the content that I put out there, it's going to start to show me other videos related to my content. It's basically figuring out my own niche based on the content I put out there. And so that's the easiest you can do. Just film a 15-second tip. Bonus would be to add text on screen through TikTok's editing features, just so people can see at a glance what you're talking about, because, you know, people's attention spans, you want to capture them quickly. So throw some text on the screen. And another bonus is to add a song into the background, because TikTok is a musical app first and foremost. So use the songs that you have at your disposal.
So quickly, when you add the text, does that help? Does the algorithm pick that up to kind of show people who would be interested in it? Or is it just more like when people come across your video, they know what it's about?
That's a great question. I don't know if the algorithm analyzes the text you overlay. It does analyze your caption and your hashtags. So I would say the text is just really good to capture people's attention right away.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And I'm going to ask you more questions about hashtags later, but let's talk about video number 2.
Sure. Okay. So video number 2 is what I call Yup, Nope. And so there's this song called Choices. And this is probably better for you to see a demo of. But basically the song is it just goes like this. Yup, nope. Yup, nope. So it's like a chorus of a song, and someone just pulled that part of it. So it's super easy to film, because once you find this song on TikTok, you can hit this button that says use this sound, and then you can then record yourself with this song playing. And so what you'll do is just move your head and shake it, yup, nope, to the beat of the song.
Okay.
Right? So you record that. Then once that's recorded, you go in and add text over top. The text would be questions. So essentially questions your audience would ask, and then your head movement answers the question. So for example, I created this video, and I think one of my questions on screen was, are you employed? Nope. So I timed it so my head was shaking. Nope. Do you own a business? Yep. Are you Instagram famous? Nope. Are you working from Mexico? Yep. So you can obviously get more creative than that. Those are very literal questions, but I find that this type of video does well when you have kind of a plot twist or a surprise at the end. So you can get creative there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's really interesting. I like it. You could talk about, like, you know, do you design jewelry? Yep. Like, do you design, or like, do you work with this kind of metal? And you could say, no. Do you do this? Yep.
Exactly.
No. Okay, cool. And that was what got me intrigued. I was like, I want to see what this yep, nope thing is about. And so I went on TikTok, signed up for my handles or whatever. And if you're listening to this, what's your TikTok handle?
Elise Darma.
Elise Darma. So I have Flourish_Thrive and Tracy Matthews NY, same as my Instagram handles.
Nice.
And which there's no videos there when we're recording this, but hopefully by the time this goes live, there will be some. But I was starting to look for those yep, nope videos to see what people were doing. And it was amazing how many, like, the kinds of things that came up. I don't know why, but they're serving me Christian teen boys who are waiting to have sex until marriage.
Yeah. When you're a new account, you get the famous TikTokers on your screen, and there's a term for it. I believe it's thirsty boys or something. This is like teen world. I'm beyond this, but I remember getting them in my feed too initially, but with time, they eventually go away.
And then there was like a whole range of women who had arranged marriages. I'm like, this is fascinating. Like, wow. I know. Weird. So they were in other countries and they had arranged marriages. And one of them, I remember one, it was this beautiful woman. She's like, did you have an arranged marriage? Yep. And it was something about her husband. And it was like a note, or do you wish you weren't with your husband? And then it was like, are you madly in love with him? Like all these things. And that was interesting how you can use it. But I think there's some ways we could do that for business. Okay. So video number 3.
Video number 3 is what I call Get to Know Me. So this is where you answer a common misconception or question that you get about your business or yourself often.
Okay.
So as business owners, we're used to answering questions. Right. We're used to addressing misconceptions. So this one's fun. You find a song that you like. You can find a song that's trending or one that fits the vibe that you're going with. And then you don't have to talk on camera if you don't want to, but you can kind of film yourself, like either thinking, or you can be shaking your head to the song. Or if you want to get creative, you can even make some hand movements where you're batting away text, and you can edit it later where you're like pushing the text away. So that's a little next level, but it's very simple. Find a song, you're either thinking, you're shaking your head, you're looking kind of quizzical about it, or you can be batting away text. And then maybe at the end, you do like a big yes or a big dance or something. So you can see with this video, you're kind of acting to the vibe of the song. The key to this one is the right text being on screen. So right away, when you're thinking, you could be putting your question on screen. Like I said, you could be batting away like, nope, nope, nope. So those would be misconceptions. And then if you do want to reveal your answer at the end, that's where you kind of get excited or maybe dance or shake your head yes. So this one's a little like abstract, but it makes sense when you find a song where you're like, oh yeah, that would work.
Okay, give me an example. Did you find a song and do something with it?
I did. Yes, I have an example of each one of these. I will send you the link to that TikTok video example, and you can share it in your show notes, just because I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, sorry, put you on the spot.
That's okay.
So and when you're doing that kind of video, can you talk, or is it like you're not really supposed to talk?
Yeah, that's a good question. Most of my videos, I don't talk. I've been using the audio, but I do find that the ones where I'm talking and giving a tip, they tend to do the best. Like TikTok has picked up my account as being a good account for social media tips and Instagram tips. So I've actually done videos where I've talked and added music on top. And TikTok allows you to adjust the volume of both. So you can make sure that your talking volume is louder than your music volume, which is super handy. So yeah, you can do both. And like I said, I find the videos where I'm talking and there's music, they tend to do better with views and shares.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, video number 4.
Number 4 is what I call the before and after story. So you can probably sense where I'm going with this one. In business, we like to share the transformation that either we or our customers have experienced. So this is what you're going to share in this video. So again, find a song that you like. Then you're going to want to film clips that illustrate what you or your customer experienced before your business, your product, your offer, whatever it is. Then you want to film clips that really illustrate the transformation that happened, the before, the after your product, your offer. So this one could involve a little bit of acting, a little bit of improv. There is a trend on TikTok. I always want to say Instagram now, but there's a trend on TikTok where when you are impersonating 2 different people, one person will be you as you are regularly. The second person will be you with a towel over your head or a sweater over your head. So you don't have to get like too, again, nothing's overly produced, right? So I've done this in a video where I have been, I was impersonating new Instagrammers when they joined TikTok, and then I was impersonating TikTokers. So I put a sweater over my head to be that second version of a person. And yes, just TikTok culture. So you can do a little bit of acting, or if that just seems like too much, there is this effect in TikTok that I really like. It's called Morph. And you can do this exact same video using this effect, which allows you to pull in photos from your camera roll. So what I did was I just pulled in a photo of me being a employee, and then I think intern, and then freelancer, and then entrepreneur. And this effect morphed them all together in like 10 seconds. And that was a way that I was showing the transformation of how I went from an employee to an entrepreneur. So you could also do that.
That's amazing. I love it. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So you can start. Oh yeah. I like that.
And for a jewelry business, I mean, you could take pictures of your piece of jewelry that you're working on in like 3 or 4 phases or 5 phases, right? Super simple. Take a picture of like the raw metal, and then the next step, like I think you can do up to 8. I can't remember, but it's the morph effect. You can check it out. But then you could just morph them all together and you're not even on camera.
That's pretty amazing. I love that idea. So many different ways to do it, or even like from a drawing sketch to a final product, or like how it like evolves. That's cool. Yeah. Okay. Video number 5.
Okay. So number 5 is what I call make a trend your own. So when you join TikTok, as you've discovered, you get a For You page. It's basically content that TikTok believes you'll like. It's curated for you. Now you're getting the whole gamut of videos because TikTok doesn't know what you like yet. It's still figuring it out. And it figures it out based on what kind of videos you're rewatching. Which ones are you liking, commenting, sharing? Especially the ones that you're rewatching. TikTok takes biggest note of those. So you will see trends on your For You page. And so what I recommend is to head to that page and find a video that you like. Once you find a video that you like and you're like, I can redo this or remake it for my audience, what you want to do is just click the audio name of that audio right at the bottom of your screen. So when you click on that audio, it's going to take you to an audio page. It's similar to a hashtag page on Instagram, where you basically see a collection of all other videos that are using that same audio. So you just want to check out those videos and see that there's a consistent pattern. They're all kind of sharing the same thing. That means you found a trend, essentially. And so what you want to do is make your own version of this type of video using that audio, but again, adapt it to your niche and audience. So you don't want it to be applicable to everyone on TikTok, unless you do, you just want to do it for fun. But if you're doing it for your business, you want to take this trend and adapt it to your audience.
Can you give us an example of a trend that's happening now?
Yeah, let me look at my TikTok. We'll do it live.
Perfect.
Yeah, so there's this one song, which I wonder, should I play it? Do you want me to play it? Okay. Can you hear that?
Yeah. The snappy one.
Exactly. So that's the song. And the original creator of that song, she was preparing for a trip. And so every time she snapped her hands, she changed scenery. So it went from her like luggage to her airplane to her destination. So anyway, that audio I use because it's still trending. And all I did was film myself in my office right here. I just put my phone on my tripod and I didn't change scenes. I just played this audio and all I did was film myself snapping to that beat. And then once I filmed that, I added text to my video for every time I snapped. And what I did of how I made it adapted to my niche, the top of this video says your 2020 Instagram growth strategy. So very clear. And every time I snap, I add one more tip on how I'm growing on Instagram in 2020. So for example, leave comment pods, engage before posting, shout out a peer, remove automation, try something new. So these are the tips that I recommend to my audience, and I've just put them to a trending song. I'm doing the snapping thing, but I've adapted it to my niche.
Yeah, so I could do something like how to design a custom ring and then go through all the steps of that, like,
Totally. Yeah, you just
use the drawing and then, the whole thing. And then we turn it into something else. And then we make a model and then it gets polished and then completed or something like that.
There are so many ideas for your niche. And I took like 2 minutes to look on TikTok for what jewelry makers could create.
Let's hear it.
And I already have like 6 ideas, I think it is.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Do you promise to make one of these for this episode? Okay.
Or someone in my audience will. Perfect. I'm going to do something.
I think
I don't have a ton of jewelry here. I'm going to get my paper so I can write it.
I think you're pretty familiar with TikTok. I think you're ready to make one. I think
okay. I'm going to do mine this weekend.
Okay. So all I did was I went to, the good thing is no one's following you. So there's really nothing to lose, right?
Right. You're totally right.
Yeah. It's fun. It's honestly very freeing to post to TikTok because no one's following you. It's awesome. It's only when you have followers where are you like, so it's more fun. It's super freeing. Okay. So all I did was I went to the Discover tab on TikTok, which is very similar to Instagram. I typed in jewelry and I spelled it with 1 L. I know there's 2 ways to spell it. So you want to double check both versions. But there are tons of video ideas that are just in this niche. There's also 3 hashtags highlighted. Hashtag jewelry has over 1 billion views. Hashtag jewelry making has 28 million views.
Wow.
And hashtag jewelry business has 16.7 million views. So your audience is already going there. Obviously, cool. You can make videos for your customers. But anyway, I just looked at some of the trending videos and here's what I came up with. One girl created a TikTok on how I designed the earrings that got featured in Vogue. So she had this top selling earring. And so she just showed little clips of like, I created a Paris mood board. I put it on my wall. I took this element and I put it into my design. So she was just bringing people into like behind the scenes of her process. So that one's trending. How I make my jewelry, super simple. Like just, it could be photos, videos, little quick, snappy clips of that progress. One cool one is my progression as a designer. So this is that before and after transformation. Maybe you show some of your early designs that are a little rough and show how they progress to today. Another one you can do, oh, actually, this was an account I found. Her name is Designs by Leanne, and she was on this page. And I looked at her profile, and she has 1.1 million followers. Like, and she's a jewelry designer, and she just started her own business as a teenager, and she's got 1 million followers. So there's so much potential for your niche. So that's just a little side note. Another type of video you can make is current jewelry faves. So as a jewelry designer, what are you loving? What are you wearing right now? That's really fun value for an audience, especially like me. I'm not one to follow trends, but if someone tells me what's cool, I'll be like, yeah, I'll wear that, you know?
Yeah.
So just tell me what to wear. Another video I found is how I make my orders. So how I make my jewelry orders. So that could be either the custom design, it could be the package that you're sending out to your customers. People love behind the scenes. And then another one I found was chains that you need to wear. I've noticed that chains are trending. So why not just tell people like, it's this brand, this is what it looks like, right? And it could obviously be your brand, or you could shout out a peer. It's totally up to you. So I think that with anyone who has a physical product-based business, I'm so jealous, because you have a thing that you can film and show all the time. It's a little different like me, because I teach marketing strategy. That's not a tangible thing, but you have tangible things that are so great on camera and so good for video. So yeah, just get out there and start trying.
I love it, because you can repurpose old videos, right? Because you can just upload them. They don't have to be brand new. How does that work?
You can, but TikTok is its own culture. I mean, I'm not the TikTok algorithm, so I can't say what's going to make or break it in the algorithm. I've seen people upload like square videos into TikTok, which gives black bars, which it's not really conducive to the platform, but they've still had millions of views. So I don't really know, but I would say that TikTok is its own culture. The best thing to do is to sign up like you have, scroll, and just get a sense of like what's trending, what are people making. There's a sense of humor that's a little bit different on TikTok. Like I'll make videos on TikTok that I think are hilarious, and then I'll share them with my Instagram followers. And I even polled my Instagram followers. I'm like, is this funny? And it was a 50-50 split. Like people didn't get it.
No. Nope.
Exactly. So either I'm really not funny, or it's just the TikTok culture doesn't translate to other platforms. So I would just check that out first.
Okay, that's so cool. So you talked a little bit about some of these jewelry hashtags. How are we supposed to find the best hashtags on TikTok? Is it similar to Instagram, or is it different?
I'd say it's similar to Instagram, except TikTok is really good as like when you're writing your caption, you put your hashtags in your caption. TikTok is really good at suggesting hashtags for you. So like for me, I just typed in jewelry and it showed me 3 top hashtags for jewelry making and jewelry business. And why it's really powerful is it tells you for that hashtag how many views it has. It's similar to on Instagram when you look at a hashtag and you see how many posts are associated with it. And it's the same idea. You don't want to use hashtags that are too big. Like there's some big hashtags like hashtag viral or hashtag for you page. Those aren't related to your niche, and they're also massive, like with tens of billions of views. So you don't need to go that route. You just want to go niche and specific. So as you start typing in your niche, your industry, your audience, TikTok will actually suggest to you related hashtags, and you can compare at a glance. Oh, this one has 1 million views. This one has 10 million views. I'll use the 1 million view one because it's smaller. I don't know. You can just make those decisions a lot quicker using the hashtag system within TikTok.
I love that. Is there anything else we need to know about TikTok in order to get this off the ground?
I think I gave away some really good tangible steps for getting started, at least with videos for your business. I will say, in terms of when you get on TikTok, you're going to see a lot of content. Like you saw the young boys and the arranged marriages. You're going to see a lot of trends showing up. Just keep in mind the difference between that type of content, which is trending content, and the content that you really want to focus on, which is evergreen content.
Yeah.
So don't get too caught up in the trends and trying to remake them. They're trends for a reason. They're cool today and not cool tomorrow. I don't know. It's teen world culture. But focus on evergreen content. And evergreen content it's that same content we're creating for our blogs, for our Instagram posts. What are those questions that people are Googling? What are they searching for? Those are the questions you want to be answering in your content. I think as a business, you want to focus on being tip-based, value-based, inspiration-based, education-based. Even though TikTok's very humor-based, if you don't feel like that's your thing, don't worry about it. I've been trying. TikTok doesn't find me funny, so I'm sticking with tips and education, and it's evergreen content. The crazy thing is like I posted these videos in January, and what are we, like 4 months after that? They are consistently getting more and more views. Like it went from 20,000 initially to 40 and now up to 60,000 views. So it's not going viral overnight. And this is an Instagram tip video, but I like it because TikTok is slowly feeding more and more people attention.
The same thing. Yeah. Okay. And then, so it kind of keeps going. There was something else.
It doesn't have a shelf life. Like you can post something today and tomorrow you're like, oh, it flopped. No one saw it. But guess what? A month or 2 months or 3 months down the road, TikTok might pick that up, show it to more people again, because the algorithm is always picking up videos, even your older videos, and testing to see people's reaction. So maybe it picks that video back up again. People start responding to it in a better way. Then TikTok will show it to more people, and you could wake up with a video with 1 million views.
I love that. Okay. So, and then also, one other thing with the captions that you put on each of these TikTok videos, when I was looking, they seem pretty short. Is there like a shorter limit? Is it unlike Instagram, or is it the same as Instagram?
Very different, because the space for your caption and your hashtags is a total of 150 characters, I believe. So it's similar to the space that you have for your Instagram bio. That's it. So that's why the captions are short and to the point. And then you mostly use that space for hashtags.
Okay.
And with captions, you don't have to tell a story. I do find that people love to pique curiosity with a caption. Like they'll say things like, OMG, you won't believe what happened. Something like that. You know, it's not really telling you something, but you're like, okay, I'll watch till the end.
Yeah.
So you can get a little creative like that.
Okay, cool. And then I'm assuming that the only place you can really link something is in your bio.
Yeah. So within the last month to 6 weeks, TikTok has finally allowed you to create a clickable link in your bio. So this is a relatively new feature. When I started, it was like, you could type out a link, but you couldn't click out of it. So like any app, TikTok wants you to stay in the app. So for me, I'm looking at my profile right now. I have a clickable link that opens up in a new window, but TikTok, of course, is like, are you sure you want to leave TikTok? Or right underneath my profile, I've actually been able to link both my Instagram and my YouTube. So those are 2 channels that you can connect and link out to.
Awesome. Awesome. Elise, thank you so much for being here. I feel like I know so much more about TikTok, and I'm ready to get my videos started. So thank you for that. And I'm hoping that a lot of the designers here start using TikTok as a platform. Real quick, where can everyone find you?
Well, on TikTok at Elise Darma, Darma, and of course on Instagram, the same, Elise Darma. And then I have a lot of TikTok tutorials on my YouTube channel. So that would be a great place for you to see more of the how-tos, especially one on how to edit a TikTok. That one is a little tricky initially. So I would say to check out my YouTube channel as well.
So I want to know, because I asked you this in the Instagram DM when I asked you on the show, when are you going to do a TikTok training for like 40 plus?
I'm definitely working on it. I'll definitely reach out to you when I have more. Yeah, there's some exciting stuff coming up even in the next week. So I'll let you know sooner rather than later.
Okay, amazing. I'm so excited. I might be so helpful for people who are just like, I want to step by step, like show me how to do it. And then get the videos done.
And that's my specialty, is like simple.
Yeah.
Let's not overwhelm you, and let's make sure it actually impacts your business.
And Elise has some really great programs. I own 2 of them, the Insta Growth Boss and Story Vault 360, right? So go check those out. They are catered to like more general business, but I think that you can use them to help elevate your profile too.
Yeah. Story Vault, when you purchased it, was 365 prompts for Instagram. Now it's 800, and we've created 2 categories. So you'll get business to business prompts, and you'll get business to consumer prompts. Amazing. So you can adapt them to your niche and your audience.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Elise.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Are you ready to start using TikTok for your business? I hope so, because I am. Come follow me too. I'll have my little TikTok handle in the comments below and in the show notes. And if you want to find out a little bit more about Elise, make sure that you check out our show notes and the caption here, because we're going to share with you all those links that she spoke about. Also, if you like this video, I'd love for you to like it and share it with your friends. And I'd also love to know what your biggest takeaway was. Are you going to do a yep, nope video? Yep, nope. If you haven't done so yet, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. This is Tracy Matthews signing off. Until next time.